My name is Michal Brink and I work for a company by the name of CMO. I'm going to use a set of glasses to demonstrate the control systems that are used in FSC standard 40004 in order to ensure that inputs, processing and outputs can be controlled in a credible way within the standard. For the sake of this demonstration, I am accepting that our recovery rate is 100%. So what comes in and what is processed and finally what goes out, there is no loss of fiber within the process. Our recovery is 100%, just for the sake of simplicity of this demonstration. I'm quickly going to explain to you the glasses that we are going to be using. The first glass represents FSC 100%. The second glass represents FSC controlled wood. This middle glass represents a log yard, all the fiber which enters into the system. The fifth glass represents FSC mix, and the final glass represents uncertified fiber. I'm going to start off by explaining to you the transfer system. We've got three systems that I'm going to be talking about this afternoon: the transfer, the percentage, and the credit. And I'm starting off with the transfer system. I'm just adding it to the front of the table here so that I can remind you of the system that we are busy explaining. Now for the transfer system, we don't need these glasses. We only need an FSC 100% glass. So to explain the system, I would like to use our glasses, which each represent 10 units. So when a glass is full, we assume it's got 10 units in it. That means that when a glass is half full, we have 5 units. The liquid that I'm using is for the sake of simplicity again. It's easier to work with liquid than with fiber. But the liquid obviously represents wood fiber. So in the transfer system, if we were to buy 10 units of fiber, and we bring the 10 units of fiber into our log yard, then we can sell at any stage again the same 10 units that we bought, we can sell as FSC 100%. So what comes in and what's being processed and what leaves remains exactly the same fiber. That's the transfer system. Let me continue and explain to you the percentage system. Now, for both the credit and the percentage system, we're going to need all the glasses. So we have an FSC control wood glass, we have an FSC mixed glass, and we finally also have our FSC control wood glass. So to explain the percentage system, we're going to buy some FSC 100% fiber, some FSC control wood. It's going into a log yard where it's mixed and then it's being sold off. So let me explain to you what we can and cannot sell in terms of the percentage system. So to start off with, let's assume that we've got 5 units of FSC 100%. We have 5 units of FSC controlled wood. These units all enter into the log yard and they are mixed into the same pile. So we cannot distinguish what part of the fiber comes from controlled wood and what part of the fiber comes from FSC. Now by this time you would already know that controlled wood has no FSC status. It can only be used to mix with FSC, as I've shown to you now. Now, when we are selling, we can sell everything we have in the log yard, which is 10 units, 5 and 5, we can sell all 10 units now as FSC mix. We're not going to sell anything as uncertified. And the 10 units that sold as FSC mix only had 5 units, in other words, half of this glass, in fact, represents FSC material. So our 10 units only has a 50% FSC content. Therefore, we can sell these 10 units as FSC mix 50%. That is the percentage system. Let's move over to the credit system. For the credit system, we have the same scenario as what we had for the percentage system. We again have 5 units of FSC 100%. We have 5 units of FSC controlled wood. That means 10 units in total. These 10 units enter into the log yard and they are mixed into the same pile. So we now have 10 units in our log yard, of which half is FSC controlled wood and half is FSC 100%. Now the difference between the percentage and the credit system comes into what I explained to you now. We can only sell in the credit system 5 units as FSC credit. It's FSC mixed credit. It means that those 5 units in fact represent the FSC 100% 5 units that we had here, but it's been contaminated with controlled wood. So we can no longer call it FSC 100%. And the remaining 5 units, we can either sell as FSC controlled wood or sell it as uncertified. That is the credit system.